crypto market is again becoming interesting. More and more interesting, I should say. Even XRP is now starting to get some bullish patterns here. You're trying to make a bull flag, or you're already in one. If you do break to the upside, now that would kick start some momentum. You're watching different assets starting to move back up. Say we had a short-term call when it was like around 8.37, and right now we know it's actually running high. The price is actually moving up. It's at 10.21. So if you look at the short-term call which we made earlier, as soon as we broke this level of 6.4, now we already hit the first level. That's like 40% up. Now we are somewhere here at this range. You're moving to the next target. Why is that happening? Because you understand the Bitcoin is slowing down, and each slow down in Bitcoin is giving more momentum into all coins. This is interesting. You should watch Bitcoin dominance before you go for multiple trades, because this actually gives you the idea, okay, there's a lot of money moving into alts. Watch the alts which are bullish now. That's where XRP is right now. The weekly candle just closed bullish, and when you break it down into the daily, the 3-day, different segments, you understand it is showing more bullishness than ever right now. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, if you look at how the price action is working, how the market is showing us different stuffs, it is really interesting because watch how the patterns are evolving. It's not just a rounded bottom pattern, but it also happens to be a double bottom. That's actually great because that shows you there is a possibility this may actually push higher towards 0.86. XRP coming back to that level is optimism coming back into the market, because at that point you're looking whether we can break that 0.86 and travel towards 1.38 or say $1.4. It is going to be literally interesting when XRP is above $1, because those who have 10,000, 100,000, a million units of XRP are now really starting to be euphoric. That would send more positive vibes into the market, attracting new buyers. Now, what's the next one? You're actually watching, there is another level of resistance which we have around 1.8 to $2 before we go and test the all-time high. So we are waiting for all these to evolve and break higher. So we know what's the macro, what's the micro. You should be looking at the macro even. This is a monthly chart. So the monthly chart here for XRP shows you the double bottom is still valid, the breakout is still valid, the confirmation is still valid. So as soon as you bounce through this level, there is no looking back, in my opinion. You are going to go higher and higher until you have a divergence. But as soon as you have a divergence, it doesn't actually matter where it actually comes, because say your target is $10, say your target is $20, whichever range it is, if you see that divergence coming in earlier than expected, take profits. If it's going through your targets and still you don't see the divergence, it's positive, so let it be a little bit lighter. Instead of taking 25%, maybe take 10. This can actually help you to keep more units in the market as the price goes through the price discovery, momentum, hype, euphoria, whatever you name it. That phase is going to come. You will see a time where the price action is exploding in almost every crypto assets for sure. And you'll also see XRP getting a tremendous amount of volume and pushing the price up. So you are literally waiting to see how the market evolves. And when you come back, this is Bitcoin. Now we want to actually see how strong the bulls are. Right now, a short-term 4-hour chart, okay? A short-term negative divergence is there. We had the call out yesterday at this candle itself when we got the confirmation in the group. And I was like, okay, going back down to this area is actually great. That's going to attract more buyers who are going to buy and load up more of this asset, drying up the supply and pushing the price back up. Now, if that's not happening, you're only coming close to 29,500. That means they don't want even to wait for the price to come back to 28. They're buying here. But the confirmation will only come as soon as you break 31,300 range. If you close about 31,500, it's going to be really, really bullish. It's going to be like, crazy time where you'll watch all the media jumping onto it. Why? Because you'll actually see alts following it, not all the alts, some of them, with each micro corrections coming in Bitcoin will lead a lot of altcoins to move back up. That is going to be the interesting area, because on the other end, we are watching this. Whether we agree with these or not, it seems to be the reality. This is the law in the US. So when the market starts to go back up, those who have these assets are going to be so much happy. One, two, that happiness or their positive energy, a sudden spike in happiness will actually, make their friends ask, buddy, what's going on? Right? And then they say, okay, I'm in this asset, that asset is going up, I'm making a lot of money. This kind of pushes that idea into the market, inviting a lot more buying power. Now, if your average is 0.4 and you're saying this at $2, you're already 5x. The new guy who's coming in is buying at $2. So you cannot actually buy the amount of XRP you bought because you bought at 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, like that. That gives you an idea. When you're 5x, you should be starting to thinking about taking some profits, if not all, depending upon what your targets are. If it's me, okay, at least 5%. Then we go on based on the discussion. What's more important is to look at different exchanges and how much money is flowing into them. There was a lot of talk about this asset breaking this particular level, going down to the crazy lows. And I gave you guys my thought process, right? Okay, if we are not dropping below 200, I'm bullish here. That means there is going to be a breakout to the other side, and we just saw that. We just got that. That's one of the reasons why I always say, if you want to look at these updates on the right time, before these breakouts come, this is when actually, this is literally yesterday. 24 hours before we had this call, and it's already there. And if you actually look at this, it's a month. So depending upon who you are, you get different calls, whether you're looking for a short-term call, a medium-term call, you get all of that in the SI family, along with the proper understanding of the market. So if you are interested in that, or if you want to go a one-on-one session with me, discuss about your portfolio, what you want to actually look at, which assets are you interested in, and get to share the research I do with the technical analysis, this can actually help you. You can actually look at Patreon. The link is in the description below. Now, jumping back into this. If BNB is going back up, that kind of shows you something. What is it? That means there's a lot more money coming into this asset. And where is it coming from? Because you are actually watching the price trending lower at a time when the strength is increasing. So someone huge is buying. Great. Now, if you look at the pattern structure, you're like, okay, I'm a pattern guy. I want to see this break to the upside. That's what you are getting here. So I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think this can actually first come back up to 350. Now it's 200. So that's a big move. Then to 690. It is going to be interesting because you will actually see a lot more assets and liquidity in this exchange, and any move to 350 will bring in massive bullishness. Now, if you are doubting, like, okay, what does that mean? Massive bullishness into the crypto market? Here it is. It's actually easy. When you actually see this going back up to test this level and break it, that means on a macro structure, you're having a double bottom. Last time you got a double top, you know what happened. From 690, you came back down to 180. So when it happens the other side, you really don't want to doubt the market. When the market shows you something, you believe it. You don't want to go against it when it happens on a macro level. On a micro level, algorithms, financial institutions, they can manipulate and make some patterns. That's one of the reasons why long-term investors, those who have been in the market for 30, 40, 50 years say market is a voting machine on the short term, but a weighing machine on the long run. So if you understand that, that's exactly what we're talking about here. Once you get this creek here, which the Wyckoff calls as a creek, before you start moving back up, giving you a Wyckoff accumulation side. And if that accumulation is this long and it's breaking to the upside, then I would anticipate the price to go somewhere high. Much higher, because there is no FTX this time. you don't have the legitimacy there. Even if they come back as FTX 2.0, I doubt how much people will actually go back in. But I'm not saying that this asset would do something like what it has done in the past like this. I doubt that. Why? Last time in a bear market, it was trending like this. So it should do like this big. Right now, you're not actually getting that kind of a vibe, right? So you want to see whether this breaks to the upside or get rejected. If it gets rejected, that's a different story. But if it is breaking to the upside, now that's going to attract massive buying power. Now, this all goes back to this side of market where you're watching Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is breaking higher in next 10 days to test 33,000, 35,000, it is going to create a lot more media attention. It is going to create a lot more bias in this market. Imagine one of the easiest thing you and me can look at is say guys like Michael Saylor, right? They are now in green. When Bitcoin is here, they are in green. As soon as this goes to 30, now this is human psychology, I'm saying, and especially when that's connected with money, it becomes too much. It's too much. Imagine you are another institution who said Bitcoin is shit. I'm not buying that. And Saylor actually loaded up with that institution. Great. Now Bitcoin is at 33,000, 35,000, 38,000. They're like, whoa, this guy's making a hell lot of money. This is the exact same thing which is going to happen for El Salvador. They bought in, they averaged down. So as soon as they go in profit, they make a lot of profit. They're putting that into the economy. Small countries would be like, we don't want to miss the boat. Let us jump in too. That's where you see repositories of money coming in for these assets. Yes, it's going to be like the biggest assets, the highly liquid assets, and that's where XRP is in. That's the criteria where XRP fits in right now in the market. With all these bad shit happening, XRP is still the top 5 assets. Now remove these stable coins so you understand what I'm talking about. You still have that amount of liquidity, which is much decent than other assets. And that means as soon as the price goes up, you'll have enormous amounts of liquidity. So Bitcoin, Ether, XRP is going to attract massive amounts of money coming in. That's one of the reasons why your upside potential for this asset looks super crazy. Now, yes, it depends on the direction of Bitcoin and how high it go and how long that run takes. If it takes like 6 months and Bitcoin is grinding higher, that kind of gives enormous upside potential for altcoins and especially a coin like XRP. Because any announcement, say next is November, we have the Swell event. We are anticipating a lot of announcement, but we don't know whether it's going to be there or not. So we don't want to actually hype things out, but we want to still look at the reality. If the price is starting to break higher and you get some announcement, the price will push higher. The speculation will actually increase on the asset. Because when people say, okay, I don't understand whether this is trending higher or not, I say either you look at the RSI and understand it, or you plot the textbook pattern. This is what you look like. And that's exactly what's happening here. Meaning, if you actually put those lines, you'll understand that. That is a crystal clear structure coming in. Usually, after that, you pop. If that happens here, we shouldn't be surprised. Why? This is almost the exact same thing. The 1, the 2, the 3, and boom. If you start going up, it should give you massive momentum. We have seen this before. The 1, the 2, the 3, and that's here. And you follow that up. From 5,000, you went up to 15,000 at that time before you started correcting. So imagine this is going to be that range where you're going to start breaking higher. This can actually run much, much higher because the trend line which we are watching on this macro chart is here. You're starting to break that to the upside, and that's a channel which a lot of people are looking out to. Whenever you get these kind of breakouts, the market is attractive. The key problem which a lot of people have is they enter the market when the market is running too hot. When an asset is doing something like this, 60, 80, 100% a day, then they jump in. Don't buy the green candles like that. You should have an idea of what the asset usually does and whether you're catching the top or at least just above the bottom. Catching the bottom is going to be hard, but having the right idea of right assets is going to be important. That's absolutely what we share here. That's absolutely what the SI family and all these members here are taking benefit of. Now, this is like, hundreds of members are already there taking these opportunity calls and making those profits because they understand this is not going to last for sure. It's going to be there for 3 months, 6 months. That's it. Then you won't actually get this much upside. You can trade multiple trades, but the amount of profit which you make now in a trade or two, at that time you may need 10 to 20 trades to get that ROI. So this time when the market moves up, you need to use that. Last time, it was in 2021, kind of February, March, April, May, and it's done. Very few assets did rally back up to November. So you need to actually understand that. And that's exactly why I say you need to take your time and effort going through all these different assets in the market, understanding what they're doing and what's their potential, the targets. That gives you a higher ROI in this market when it actually exists in the market. So guys, if you receive value for your time, please do smash that like button. I'm watching a lot of people doing that. I'm really thankful for you guys. If you're still here watching this, smash that like button for me. I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.